I'm Dreaming Tabitha, an artist here on YouTube, and today we are reimagining other artists' artwork. Sounds like a challenge because it is. Every artist has a unique style, unique to themselves, and so I've asked a couple of my friends if they would be on board for this kind of challenge, and they said yes! So today's guest is going to be Makani Draws. Links in the description down below. He's a digital artist over here on YouTube as well, and his style is very iconic. So why don't we have a look at what Makani has sent for us to figure out how to redo. As promised, we have quite a lovely, luscious lady here, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to repaint this, if I want to do it in chibi form, because that's typically what I do. And I almost feel like if I do a chibi form, it won't be really doing this lady a service, but she's got a lot of cool things going on here. We've got this amazing bow and arrow. She's got some really interesting, I guess, armor pieces, or the lack thereof. And she's also got this really intense face going on. I don't know if she's angry. Maybe it's kind of gets the idea that she's angry that we're there looking at her. One thing that I can't quite figure out is because of the fact that this is black and white, there's like this big circular thing underneath of her that almost, I guess, seems attached. At first I thought it was like a haystack or something, which wouldn't make any sense at all. So I wasn't sure if that's like part of her hair or maybe it's a tail. And then I also noticed that she has like these earpieces, which I assume they're earpieces because they're very pointed and deliberate. I know he's done kind of like these hybrid kind of characters before, so I'm going to have to assume that she is like half fox or something like that, which would be really cool. Maybe she's like a deity. Fox lady with a bow and arrow, kind of got this Greek folklore, Irish folklore kind of thing going on here. This is in black and white, so do I want to reimagine it with color or do I want to stick with gray tones? Let's find out. Now, not only was I given an art piece for this challenge, but I also challenged him to one of my old art pieces. And if you've been on the channel for a while, you know that one of my best ones was when I was first getting into oil painting and I did my friend Brooke. So I can't wait to see what exactly he's going to transform her into. Maybe she'll be one of his luscious ladies. But before we get into today's art challenge and reimagine this amazing piece, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here, and if you enjoy art challenges, then you're in the right place, my friends. So let's just get going. Okay, first things first is that we need all of our supplies, and especially a nice crispy sharpened pencil. And I'm going to be using my little patch here that I've given to me by a friend for my stencil, and I just go ahead and go in with the face. I usually do the head and then go into the cheek and the chin and the jawbone. That kind of gives me an idea of the angle I want to have this character. And I thought I would start off by doing like the ears to kind of give me a guide point to figure out how stuff goes, but you'll find out later that ears are hard and they change a lot about the attitude of your character. Then I went into the eyes, and I will say that I struggle with the eyes and where they're looking and trying to get them to be equal because they're not equal. It's complicated, but I'm learning. Once I had the eyes how I wanted them as far as the placement, I had to work with the expression because I knew I wanted her to be very aggressive as I was developing this story in my head of what kind of a character that she was. So once I got that taken care of, then I moved on to more details in the face, like the nose and the lips, and I wanted to give her some teeth. Then I moved on to her hair, which I will readily admit that I am not good at. Not yet, anyway. And there's something about adding hair to the face that just makes it look a little more feminine and also adds to the illusion of movement. And I wanted this to be an action shot, so I started going into her pose with her body and just doing like a rough draft, a lot of these geometrical shapes and stuff like that, fine-tuning it later on. And I did change the stance of her based on the original picture that I had. I wanted to change it up. I had this in my mind's eye. It's like, okay, we go from one picture to the next, like what would happen? And I made sure I kept a lot of that extra feminine charm in her figure. I'm not very good with female anatomy. Like, it's hard. But I think it turned out okay in the end. But yeah, I wanted her to have a nice snatched waistline, have some curvy thighs and hips, and I had to work with that a lot. And then I just gonna snap over to pretty much the finished image and just going in and cleaning up the details. The bow was extremely hard to work with. I was trying to figure out just how ornate I wanted it to be, but the biggest problem, honestly, was trying to make it, what is it called? Symmetrical? Asymmetrical? I don't know what the actual term is, but to make it look the same on both sides. And while it kind of looked the same, it was definitely a size difference that was problematic if I wanted this to be as good as I wanted it to be. I thought about it just ignoring it, be like, it's fine. But I also was like, okay, there is one way to avoid all of this. I could stick with traditional and just continue this drawing and then add my markers and my colored pencils, but that would take a really long time. So it was like, to be or not to be? Should I go digital? Should I just copy this? And I have found that I started doing that a lot lately. So I think in this pause of the video, it's probably where I am debating. Do I just keep going and try to fix it as best as I can? Because I was getting a little frustrated at this point because things were going so well, and then I hit this little snag, which is a pretty big snag because it also threw off like the arrow and everything like that. So that's when it's like, Tabitha, just bite the bullet. You need to get better at your digital artwork anyway. So why don't we just take a picture of this cutie little picture of squirrel girl, whatever she is, and do a nice, beautiful digital drawing. That way things can be even. And it's okay if they're not perfect, but this really bothered me and I wanted it to be my best that I could give. Not me fighting the system and just continuing to believe that I could fix this on my own. I'm like, no, I need to take a picture of this. I need to put the pencil down, take a picture of this, and just start over in digital design.
Everybody, we are going to be showcasing our images to each other. We've got the wonderful Makani Draws over here today, and he reimagined one of my art pieces, and I reimagined one of his art pieces. He hasn't seen what I've done, but I've seen a snippet. He kind of sent it to me, and I was like, no, don't look. I wanna see it in its full glory when we are together. And I don't know about you, but like as an artist, I love seeing their reaction to the artwork. So I was like, well, maybe he might want to see my reaction to his artwork. Without further ado, reimagining our old art pieces. Do you want to go first, or?
You know what? I think you should.
You think I should go first? Okay.
I want to see your reaction.
What I did? Okay. All right.
Show them. You want to show them the original. Show them the original drawing though, because
of course, absolutely. So this is the image that I received. A total woodland babe, of course.
It's a fox. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not like an exquisite digital artist, so I had to work with. What I had, my capability.
I figured you would like something that is much more on the fantasy side of my work. I figured that would be more up your alley.
So this is how I reimagined Makani's hot, delicious, foxy chick. And of course I had to go Chibi.
Oh my god! Oh! Oh my god, I love that. I feel like I want to make that as a channel emote now. Oh my god, I love it!
By all means, do you? Okay. Like this kind of story was coming. I'm like, she kind of looks like a deity of the forest, like a protector of the forest, like somebody that the people of the village people might worship or something like that, who protects them and defends them.
Actually, the funny story, that's the story that I came up with was that she was just being hunted.
Oh,
like she was like a giant beast where like someone was hunting her, or maybe something like a giant beast or something.
My interpretation was the beast was the humans, like she was protecting the forest from the humans.
I didn't realize how detailed I made that hair when I drew that. That was from 5 years ago, by the way.
Wow. Like, I was super impressed. I had to give her 2 different colored eyes, you know, like it was just something about it. I don't know if you see that, but she actually has 2 different colored eyes, and that's like what I saw when even though your picture is in black and white, I'm like, at first I was like, should I do it in black and white as well? And I'm like, no, I want to do this in color. So, yeah, that is my interpretation of your foxy hot lady.
I absolutely love that.
Okay. Well, so I am looking forward to seeing yours because, like I said, I saw some glimpses of it, but I didn't want to fully, you know. So if you check out my channel, you can see where I painted my dear friend Brooke, and I don't know if you know the whole story behind that. And I figured I would just. I figured I would leave that part out so that it wouldn't like maybe taint your interpretation of it. But my friend Brooke unfortunately has CRPS RSD. It's a disease of the nervous system, and they call it the fire and ice disease because it feels like your skin is always burning. And I was like, you know, she's a little bit of a bodacious babe herself, and that's like your calling card because you do a nice job with the lady.
Yeah, it is. I will not admit to that. I will not deny that.
But I was like, I want to see what he would do with my friend Brooke in his art style. So I can't wait to really look at it.
No, so when I looked at this, and now you didn't tell me the background because that was kind of now you tell me the background. I feel like I was kind of right in when I did it because the way I just saw it was just like, oh, it's just a girl, I guess, being comforted by the phoenix behind her, and I thought it was like, okay, make it so it sounds like maybe do something where. The first thought in my mind was like, instead of just having that phoenix behind her, what about make it so that she is embracing the feeling of revival, the feeling of rebirth, by having the phoenix like kind of wrap its wings around her as she just kind of opens her arms and embrace it. I took it as just her embracing the phoenix. I thought it was you.
Oh.
At first, I thought it was you. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. This is what I did.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Look at those hips, man. They don't lie. I love it. So you're so good at that. I'm a female, very familiar with the female body. I had such a hard time with the cleavage of my little fox character. I can't do it. She looks amazing.
So I thought it was you because I thought it was you. I was like, okay, I'll make it kind of like I just wanted to go similar to I wanted to follow beat for beat with how you did with yours, especially in the color area. But I wanted to play with the idea of the phoenix actually embracing of this girl embracing.
Yeah.
Her becoming a phoenix, her rebirth or something like that. So as you can see here, you can see the head. You can actually see the top of the phoenix. It's supposed to be hover right over her. One thing that I also added was I made it so that her dress is engulfed in the flames. It's actually merging itself with let me go say. So her dress is merging with the fires of the phoenix itself, and that was a tricky thing to do.
It looks like it. I assure you, I don't think any part of this creation is easy.
No, so it's like taking it at a different angle. It's like approaching it at a different angle, approaching it like taking what you did and just completely like turning it on its head. It's something that comes alive. Make it feel like it really comes alive. And just
it
from my
there's so much
view,
movement.
I was constantly messing with the vibrancy of all the layers. You can see on the left here. These are all the layers.
Oh yeah.
The line art, which didn't take too long to do, I was going very loose, very loose with the line art and kind of laying the colors and everything there. It just like adding the different tones, and everything. And then I actually had to redo the shading. As you can see, just it started with the dress. It was all out of the dress. I try not to go too curvature. I just wanted to just something that felt very natural to me, something that felt natural to the style that I was going for. And it feels like a lot of what I did, or one of my usual tropes, I feel like that was taken a step back for you, just so that it's much more you see. So that way you see that, you know, I'm more than just that, more than just, you know.
It's definitely a growth thing, like trying to take somebody's artwork and reimagine it. And you know what's really cool about this picture too that I like, and you don't, because you don't know anything about Brooke, is that she loves to sing. And I love your picture because she kind of looks like she's singing. I can't wait to show Brooke and be like, look, just look. I don't know if you'd be interested in doing something like this again. Was it fun for you, or was it kind of like...
I had a blast putting this together. I had an absolute blast putting this together, and yes, I would love to do this again sometime.
Yeah. Well, Makani, thank you so much for being a part of this challenge. Look forward to working with you again in the future. And as he always says, what is it? Keep drawing? Is that the saying?
No.
It's not?
Never stop drawing.
Okay. Sorry.
Like Tabitha never stops dreaming.
It's true. This is so true. Well, until later, friends, thank you so much.